number 20. Y equals 4x plus 1. 4y equals 15x minus 8. The solution to the given system of equations is xy. What is the value of x minus y? Right? Anytime we have a system of equations, there are multiple ways we can solve it. We can do it by graphing. Here, these are both lines, just a single x and a y. There's no x squared, no square roots, none of that kind of stuff going on. For a system of equations, if there is a solution, and we know there is because they tell us there is, we're told there is a solution, it's going to be where the two lines cross. That's your solution. There are cases where two lines don't have a solution. That would be they're parallel, they never cross. And if it's infinite solutions, they're the same line and they're right on top of each other. But here, there is a solution, so I know the lines are crossing. So if I want to solve this by graphing, I would put both of those into my graphing calculator. I would look for the point where they intersect. That would be my x and y values. And then I would do x minus y and do that answer. That is a perfectly viable way to do this. Here's the other ways, the mathematical ways, and I'm going to show you these two. Even when a particular method is faster or easier, for these I like to give you options because it's not always going to be this exact set, and one of these may be faster in another one. The two ways to do it are substitution and elimination. Substitution is when either an x or a y equals, you've got it isolated, and then you plug it into the other equation. Let me show you this in real terms so you can see what I mean. Y equals 4x plus 1, 4y equals 15x minus 8. I already have here that y equals something. You can do substitution even if it's not already in y equals or x equals form. It just means you have to do some algebra and get whatever's over here all on that side. If you're in math class, you have to do that kind of stuff if your teacher tells you to and says have to use substitution. On the SAT, you don't have to use a method you don't want to. So you wouldn't have to go through the process of isolating it. Given that they've already isolated a y, it's possible that this might be not too horrible. We'll see. Let's try it out. Since y is equal to 4x plus 1, I can go into my second equation and substitute what's over here on the right-hand side every time there's a y. There's a single y, 4 times y. So I'm going to take this 4x plus 1 and I'm going to plug it in right there where there is that y. So let's do that and then we're going to solve. So 4 times my y is 4x plus 1, and that equals 15x minus 8. If I distribute, 4 times 4x is 16x, 4 times 1 is 4, equals 15x minus 8. Now to solve, I want the x's on one side and I want the numbers on the other. So if I'm going to move, and you know what, I'm going to see if I can move all this over here, give myself a little more room. I'm notorious for running out of space because I always write too big. Right, so I'm going to move the x's over here by getting rid of them on this right side. I'm going to subtract the 15x over there. I need to do that from both sides. So on the left, 16x minus 15x is just x. And on the right, 15x minus 15x is nothing. So it's gone. I just have that negative 8 left. Now to get rid of that plus 4 that's over there on the left side with the x, I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides. So on the left, I just have x. And on the right, negative 8 minus 4 is negative 12. So I know x is equal to negative 12. So what is y? Well, I was told up at the top that y is equal to 4 times x plus 1. So let's do that math. 4 times negative 12 plus 1. 4 times negative 12 is negative 48. I'm running out of room again. And negative 48 plus 1 is negative 47. So y equals negative, and I can't quite write. My stylus isn't going there. Y equals negative 47. Now I'm going to erase some of this to kind of clear the board here and make this a little easier to see. X equals 12, y equals negative 47. And I would have gotten this again if I had done the graphing. Now here's the part we really want to be careful on. It says what is x minus y? What is negative 12 minus negative 47? Negative 12 minus a negative is the same as plus a positive. So negative 12 plus a positive 47 is positive 35. And that is my answer. Now I'm going to write this up here. And I'm going to show you one last way to do this problem. And that is with, I'm going to rewrite this, right? Rewrite it smaller. See if I can solve my little problem with writing too big. Unlikely, we'll try it. It is elimination. That is our final way that we could do this. And I wouldn't recommend it for this particular problem, but I'm going to show you the method anyway. So if you come across a problem that it's needed, it's a good one to know. Some of them, it is the easiest way. Not here. In some other system of equation ones, it is. So with elimination, we're going to try to add these two equations together. We're going to add everything on the left side together. We're going to add everything on the right side. We're going to add it together. But we want something to cancel out. I want to make it so that when I add everything up, either the x's or the y's disappear. One of them disappears. So then I'm left with a single variable and I can solve it. Here, it'd be a little hard to get the x's to cancel out because 4 and 15, I can't multiply 4 by something to get 15 or negative 15 so they cancel out. So I'd have to multiply 15 times 4 and then 4 times 15. You multiply, we don't want to do that. Up on top, this is a little easier. I can multiply everything up here by negative 4 and then I'll have something that'll cancel out on the bottom. So let's do that. Negative 4 times y is negative 4y. And actually I'm going to, because that's unclear, I'm going to write it down here in the bottom. I'm going to put it down here. Negative 4 times y is negative 4y. Negative 4 times 4x is negative 16x. And negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. And then, there we go. I can add that other equation to it. Those y's cancel out. I just get 0. And on the right, negative 16x and 15x is negative x. Negative 4 and negative 8 is negative 12. And I want the x on one side and I want the number on the other. So I am just going to, see how I still run out of room. I'm going to add x to both sides to get rid of it on the right. And on the left, 0 plus x is x. And on the right, I just have negative 12. So there, I got back to that x equals negative 12 again. That is the longest, honestly, of the 3 ways for this particular problem. But no matter which one you get for a system of equations, you can use graphing, substitution, or elimination. You're going to get to the right answer regardless. In this one, I would just say be extra careful because you got that x minus y and you got 2 negatives. But our answer is 35. Hey guys, this video was helpful or useful in any way. Please feel free to let the algorithm know about it. Like, share, comment, subscribe, even buy me a coffee if you're so inclined. Links for that down below as well. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you have a great day. See you later. Bye.